In this first unit, we will explain what a social business is, and we will clarify several concepts that often can be confused. For example, do you know the difference between a social entity and a social enterprise? Or the difference between a social enterprise and social corporate responsibility? First, let's start with the widest concept, which is social economy. Social economy refers to public organizations that have other goals rather than profit. That is, that their main objective is not to have benefits for their owners, but to provide goods and services either to the members of the organization or to the community. They are non-profit organizations. Social economy is based in two basic principles: an external vision towards society, that is, that the organization is considered a social instrument with a public interest, and an internal vision towards the employees of the entities. The employees are considered the most important element. The term social economy appeared in France at the beginning of the 19th century, and it quickly extended through other countries. These entities usually take the legal format of foundations, associations, or mutuals, depending on the legal framework of each country. At the other extreme of the social entities, we find the traditional for-profit companies. The objective of these companies is to maximize profit. Now that we have the two extremes defined, let's turn to the definition of a social enterprise, which can be viewed as a hybrid of both types of entities. A social enterprise belongs to the social economy because its main objective is to create a positive impact. However, a social enterprise can use two elements that traditionally have belonged to the traditional companies. One is legal format and the other one is how it is financed. Regarding legal format, a social enterprise can be, for example, a limited liability company, which is a legal format traditionally reserved for for-profit companies. The second one is how it is financed. A social enterprise does not rely completely on subsidies, as usually social entities do. Part of its financing comes from benefits arising from its economic activity, either selling goods or providing services. A common benchmark used for social enterprises is that 50% of its funding comes from market-based activities. Also, there is the concept of asset lock. It is a legal constraint that guarantees that the assets of the company will only be used for its social mission, even if the company dissolves or is sold. The asset lock constraints ensures that the value added created by the company remains at the disposal of the community where it is based. The term social enterprises appeared in the early 80s, but it was not fully accepted until the early 90s. Within the concept of social enterprises, there is a smaller group which can be identified as social business. Social business is a term used by Professor Muhammad Yunus to describe social enterprises that all the benefits created by the company stay in the company, so no distribution of dividends is allowed. According to Muhammad Yunus, the 7 principles of a social business are: first, business objective will be to overcome poverty or one or more problems, such as education, health, technology access, and environment, which threaten people and society, and not profit maximization. Second, financial and economic sustainability. Third, investors get back their investment amount only. No dividend is given beyond investment money. Fourth, when investment amount is paid back, company profit stays with the company for expansion and improvement. Fifth, gender sensitive and environmentally conscious. Sixth, workforce gets market wage with better working conditions. And seventh, do it with joy. In the next table, we summarize the similarities and differences between social entities, social enterprises, and social businesses. Another concept that sometimes brings to confusion is corporate social responsibility. We talk about CSR when a for-profit company voluntarily engages in actions to improve society in general. CSR can take many forms and be more or less integrated in the business model of the company. CSR can imply taking into account the aspect that the company's activity generates, either to clients, employees, shareholders, community, environment, or society as a whole. This implies, for instance, complying with the relevant national and international legislation, as well as the legislation on human rights. Let's look now at the volume that social economy represents. In the year 2013, 14.5 million persons were employed in Europe in the social economy. That represents 6.5% of the working population. The employment in the social economy has grown 0.5% between 2003 and 2010. We have no specific numbers on social enterprises, so we need to take into account the volume of the social economy as a whole. There are many benefits of the social enterprises or the social economy. The first benefit is that it's one of the most effective ways to preserve income and employment when there is a crisis. There are documented studies on the resilience of the cooperative business models during the Great Depression in the United States and in Sweden after the price collapse in the 1930s. There is also great employee satisfaction. In summary, a social enterprise is set up because there is a social necessity, a social need identified. This need can be social, environmental, or cultural. The company will use an economic activity, so it must be viable in the market. Social enterprises are usually created bottom-up. That means that a social need is identified in a community, that's the bottom, and the mission is to grow up to solve the social need. Wherever there is a social need, there can be a social enterprise to solve it.